ask Mr. Mukul Sinha first. Mr. Sinha, how do you react to this, to the High Court's criticism today about the way in which the CBI investigation is going, essentially saying that they're focusing on the wrong issue, that they're focusing too much on whether the IB's inputs were genuine or not, rather than on whether the encounter was fake or not. As the court said, it doesn't matter whether they were terrorists or normal human beings, they should not have been killed if it indeed was a fake encounter. Mr. Sinha.
Well, first, okay, let me answer that question first. You see, the comments of the High Court came in context with the delay, because the investigation is going on almost for over a year now. So the High Court was obviously anxious to know when the charge sheet would be filed. In fact, we on behalf of the victims are equally anxious that the entire filing of the charge sheet is getting delayed. So in that context, the High Court put a question to the counsel of the CBI as to why they were so interested in knowing whether the 4 persons who have been killed, whether they are terrorists or not. The view of the High Court was that irrespective of whether they were terrorists or not, since they have been liquidated, the question should be why they were liquidated, who liquidated them, and what is the larger conspiracy for liquidating them. And in that context, the High Court had made this observation that don't spend so much of time in finding out the genuineness, whether they are terrorists or not, find out how and in what manner these 4 were killed. So it is not really a criticism, but it was essentially trying to streamline the manner and the mode in which the CBI was investigating the case.
Okay, let me get to the BJP now. Mr. Trivedi, today Digvijay Singh said, and I'll quote him here, that why is the BJP so worried? What do they have to hide? The CBI should be allowed to work if they have evidence, and if an IB officer against whom there is an IB officer against whom there is evidence above the law. Mr. Trivedi, isn't this whole issue rather sensitive and very, very highly politicized at the moment?
Yes, of course, the issue is very sensitive and it has been highly politicized. The reason being, if you look at the entire background in the last several years, the damage done by this UPA government to the various institutions of the state, it also comes in the same manner. What has been done to the IB and CBI in this Ishrat Jahan case? There are 2 aspects. One, whether it was a fake encounter or not. That is a different thing. Second, whether she was a genuine terrorist or not. Politics goes by the perception. I am talking on the political aspect. Now the impression is being given as if an innocent was killed. Court is right in the saying whether it was an innocent or it was a terrorist. If it was a fake encounter, that is a different thing. But the impression is being given as if an innocent person about whom, when Jamaatul Dawa has given a statement, LET has hailed, and David Coleman Headley has given a statement. So keeping in view the mind, all those type of things, if you are trying to project as if being an innocent has been killed by, particularly with the connivance of the Gujarat police, this seems to have a political overtone.
Except that, Mr. Trivedi, the CBI hasn't actually quite said that. What they have said is that they believe that there is evidence to suggest he was part of the conspiracy in the manner in which this encounter took place. Maybe they believe they have evidence based on call records, based on witness testimonies that were given before magistrates, that an AK-47 that was found at the site may have been planted there. Now, these are very, very serious allegations. I'm asking you, and we don't have the Congress on the program tonight because we didn't want this to become a political spat between the Congress and the BJP, but I'm just asking you that if indeed the investigating agency believes that there is such a serious piece of evidence they have against an intelligence officer, should they not pursue that? Whether they're projecting her as innocent or not is a different matter. Just on the facts of the encounter.
If these type of facts are available, definitely the investigation should go properly. But I would like to remind, in 2004, Union Home Minister has given a statement, and then Home Minister was Mr. Shivraj Patil, that he has gone through the investigation and he had uphold what the central government and the intelligence agencies were saying. It's very strange that after 7 or 8 years, suddenly the stance changes, as it has also happened in the several other cases, like in the Samjhauta Express case. One statement of Swami Asimanand and everything changes.
Actually wrong statement.
Which one, Mr. Sinha?
The statement that was made was in 2009 And within 3 months, a clarification affidavit was filed in the same court. So there was nothing in 2004. And let me tell you quickly, you see, this story of Ishrat being a terrorist is absolutely crap.
But how can...
The Headley story, let me finish.
I know what happened in the Headley story, because there were reports that appeared.
The NIA has clarified before.
Yes, the NIA told the court after those reports appeared that Headley didn't make any such confession, which is why, let me come to Dushyant Dave. Dushyant, there are so many things that have got muddled.
I was about to tell you that the NIA has made an affidavit before the High Court saying that the statement made by Headley didn't exist.